Okay, what's up, you guys? In this video, I'm going to be giving y'all a little bit of perspective on why you could potentially be falling for the bad boy archetype over and over and over again, regardless of you knowing that it may not be the healthiest thing for you in your life right now. All right, now let's tie this back to childhood, of course, because that's where I like to start in majority of my videos, because that's where a lot of our relationship trauma comes from, our childhood, right? If something in your childhood relationship with your parents was chaotic, or you wasn't getting your emotional needs met, your emotional needs somewhat addressed, you're going to start viewing love as a sense of chaos, love as a sense of confusion, love as a roller coaster and not something that grounds you in your life. You're going to attach it to those emotional highs. You're going to attach it to those nights where everybody was screaming in the house and everybody in the damn house went to sleep mad. You're going to attach love to that, like, oh, we woke up the next day and acted like nothing happened, so that must have been love, like there wasn't just abuse happening in the house last night. That right there is a very big thing. Now, when you start looking at the quote unquote bad boy archetype, something that we notice within these individuals is that they have this sense of hyper masculinity, right? Hyper masculinity is it very easily gets into toxic masculinity. What do I mean by this? Hyper masculinity does not address no type of emotional regulation. It does not address no type of emotional capacity, your needs and your wants deeper than your physical level. So you're going to get in instances where, okay, the physical might be all right, they might be doing that, but mentally you're going through hell because that man isn't operating out of a divine masculine. He's operating from an unhealed masculine. Now, unhealed masculines typically have the power to garner up a whole bunch of unhealed feminines because the divine feminine is very aware that that's an unhealed masculine and they simply don't intertwine with it. But the unhealed feminine is going to go towards that unhealed masculine every single time because it has a sense of familiarity to it, right? Now, when you look at majority of these bad boys too, they are spontaneous in the manner of you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if you are about to get broken up with. You don't know if you're about to get your ass beat. You don't know if they're about to go to jail. You don't know anything about what the next play is about to happen. So by you growing up in more chaotic situations and growing up in environments where the stability of your emotional concerns as well as the financial needs is being taken care of, then you're going to view that sense of spontaneity as fun, adventurous. Like, this is what love is supposed to feel like. It's like I'm never bored. And that's something that we got to watch out for a lot too, because the young women have this ideology of, if it's boring, it's not real. If it's boring, I lost the spark. If it's boring, maybe there's something better out here for me, when that could be the complete opposite. If your nervous system is only used to bullshit, of course something that's healed and healthy is going to seem boring because they're not going to trigger you. They're going to trigger you, but not in the ways that you're used to. You're not going to be used to being put in an environment where your triggers is making you look at yourself, where your triggers is making you, hold yourself accountable because you notice there's a flaw within self. You're going to go towards situations that trigger the unhealed inner child, the inner child that just wants to be rebellious and say everybody because they're hurt. That's what you're going to attract when you go towards the bad boy kids, stereotype. And it's crazy enough because in my experience, the bad boys don't typically encourage very healthy dynamics for the women. What do I mean by this? Their dynamics is healthy for them, right? As a man, you feel me? It is okay. Like, we can go F on anything. We can do whatever we want. We can, fall in love with whoever we want necessarily, and we can, bounce back. The principles are just like staying free and being liberated and just rebellious and everything like that. That works for a man. When a man is rebellious, okay, he may be able to, get some things happen. He may not be so influenced by the matrix and society and all these other type of things, right? But when a woman is in that energy, she's her life up. She's everything. Nothing about that. She's literally her life up. There's no easy way to put that situation. When a woman starts acting like a man, when she thinks she can just sleep around, when she thinks, her life needs spontaneity, when she thinks chaos is her form of love, she's going to ruin her life. Her children are going to suffer because of that. She's going to start bringing toxic, mannerisms and toxic conversations and toxic perspectives to the children, to her workplace, to her psyche. A woman's psyche is very important. A woman's psyche dominates her life. And it's the same thing with a man. Of course, like, your mindset means a lot, but man, a woman's energy, she will live out her internal world every single time. Men are just somewhat like airhead dummies. Like we operate very easily in the physical. We operate very easily when it comes to action. The feminine, the divine, your inner compass, your inner healing, your inner guidance system is what's going to guide you to what you need in life, because chances are you guys don't have the testosterone that we have to do certain things. You guys have a whole week out of the month, every month, where your abilities are limited. You can't shoot for the stars as much as you may want to. There's only a certain week within that month where energy levels is super duper high and all. You get what I'm saying? You guys operate from a very internal compass. So aligning with somebody who does not understand how to nurture and be aware of that internal compass, you're going to find yourself in situations where, yes, now you're attracted to that quote unquote bad boy. And it's only because you're unhealed and your attachment wounds aren't allowing you to see the bigger picture of, this isn't meant for me. Very simple. Now, look, let me make this very clear for you guys, too. The bad boy is not a bad boy. If you get what I'm saying, the bad boy just has characteristics and, mannerisms about himself that may not be conducive, but he's still human, right? So if you're going to go towards those archetypes, you have to understand clearly what you're getting yourself into. And if you are built to handle that type of man, because the bad boy needs a certain type of woman. He needs a woman who can hold him down real spiritually, and she has to somewhat be more gangster than he is in the physical, but in the spiritual, to actually hold that type of environment down for him, to where he can somewhat fall into his, like, I can calm down. I don't have to look over my shoulder every 10 seconds. I don't have to, like, when I'm with you, I feel like I can just rest. Like, next, it's going to take one hell of a woman for him to feel like he's not going to get set up. You get what I'm saying? It's certain things like that. So that's why I'm like, as a woman, you have to understand who you are. You have to understand what you actually want and what you were built for in this lifetime. If you are not, if you find yourself hella emotional, if you find yourself like really trying to understand what you're going through, you want love like really really bad, maybe you don't need to be with a bad boy. But if you are actually okay with living a free, liberated life, because that's more accepted now in today's society, if you want to go that route, that is absolutely fine. But you need to probably go towards the bad boys, you feel me? Because the emotionally intelligent man isn't going to go for it. The emotionally intelligent man is going to trigger you every single time, because they see what you're doing and they're not going to let it slide. So pick your side, stand on it, but understand what side you're standing on, so you don't get left in confusion and you don't get your feelings hurt unnecessarily. Self-awareness is key. The moment you know what you're getting yourself into, the chances of that situation damaging you long term goes down. Awareness and clarity brings so much love and peace to situations. With that being said, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. My books is down in the description, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Peace.